Hi everyone. Welcome to another session of our training. We'll be looking at a series of SAP S/4HANA with AI, and today we're going to be looking at SAP S/4HANA transformation with ChatGPT. Basically, we're having a series of trainings looking at how AI is actually um, transforming the SAP landscape and how, as consultants, as users, and of course, as those who are delivering services to SAP S/4HANA services, this is a very important information and session to actually throw some insights into how SAP S/4HANA is being transformed by ChatGPT. Yeah, sounds interesting, right? So let's go into the discussion for today. Well, introducing myself, my name is Kelechi Keliadile. I'm a certified SAP S/4HANA finance, consultant. I've been um, in a couple of projects from end-to-end configurations to support training. And of course, I have a YouTube channel where you can actually get to learn a lot around SAP, especially finance and controlling. So go to YouTube, search for Kelechi Keliadele. You'll probably find a lot of my videos. You can subscribe and stay tuned for more trainings on SAP S/4HANA Finance and of course SAP Business Analysis. So that's introducing myself. So basically, let's go into these sessions. We have been hearing about ChatGPT, of course, in the 21st century. ChatGPT is no stranger to anyone. I mean, we have seen a lot of transformations in that space from speech to text. A lot of um, ChatGPT version 4, a lot of new innovations coming out, of ChatGPT. But basically, the discussion today is really how is does SAP S1 and ChatGPT have any relationship? And how can we use the ChatGPT to actually transform how we work in SAP? So let's go to the next slide. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so let's first of all talk about what is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an advanced transformer-based generative AI model from OpenAI, of course. Um, And by transformer, we mean that it's a special architecture which you can use to build AI models related to natural language and text. It's composed of layers of neural networks that can process, sequential data such as text or speech or learn, complex relationship between them. So we have had a lot of innovations around speech to text to text, image to text. So basically, ChatGPT, for those who are actually also hearing this for the first time or who are basically watching this video for the first time and hearing ChatGPT, basically, we're seeing here that it's just an advanced, um, AI model that is used to, you know, um, it has this natural language that you can use to, convert from one form of information or communication to another. So if you're so ChatGPT is not just used to, do research and ask questions around certain things. I mean, there's a great use of ChatGPT, but of course, it's more popular around using it to basically do coursework, search for make research, ask questions, but there's a whole lot more you can use ChatGPT for, especially when it comes to transforming speech to text. Just use the app and of course, creative designs and a lot of innovations around this space basically. So the app ChatGPT is just used to facilitate that. Now let's look at the features of ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been trained on a diverse range of internet text. That's why when if you're asking a question in ChatGPT, it's able to produce some responses, some answers. Of course, it's doing that because it's been trained to go to the internet and get this data or this information that you're requesting for. To basically align it to generate human-like text in response to prompts given to it. So, of course, a typical ChatGPT app, you can just type a questions, arrange your questions or your commands in a certain way, and the system is able to go into the internet based on your instruction, and it's able to produce a text for you. ChatGPT can perform various natural language tasks, such as answering questions, conversing on different topics, generating creative writing pieces, of course, and of course, converting image to text, converting text to speech, different ways we can use ChatGPT. It can also adapt to different styles and tones of languages, depending on the context and the user preferences. So we have learned today that it's a natural language task, and it can, and of course, it can perform various kind of language tasks like answering questions, conversing on different topics, and a whole lot more. The idea behind ChatGPT, we're coming to SAP, but it's basically just give us that introduction into what ChatGPT is and how you can. So by now, if ChatGPT is actually used to translate, used to communicate, used to answer questions, if you start linking that to SAP, and one area that will strike your mind is support, because most times when we do support, it's basically around the users, end users asking us questions. So imagine if they are asking ChatGPT those questions in SAP. So you can now start seeing how ChatGPT can actually, how it can actually transform, SAP S/4HANA. And of course, like every new technology, um, some people are going to lose their jobs. Some people are actually going to get new jobs. So it's left for functional consultants, technical consultants to upskill, because indeed, um, ChatGPT is one app I know will transform the way we work in SAP S/4HANA. Now, the basic idea behind ChatGPT is to create an AI-powered chatbot that can converse with users in a natural and conversational manner without the need for predefined scripts or templates. So we're gradually moving from basically let me simply put, if you are um, if you contact a customer care of a bank now, most likely online, of course, you'd see these chat boxes or what we call customer care, but it's just basically a series of questions that, and when you fill those forms based on those predefined questions, the system is able to generate some kind of feedback for you. But ChatGPT is actually trying to go beyond that. Um, it's trying to converse with users as if, I mean, just imagine a human being is sitting down with you and you're asking that human being a question. And of course, the feedback is natural, right? So the idea behind ChatGPT is actually to be able to converse with users just like human beings in a natural and conversational manner without having, some predefined set of questionnaires which you have to fill. So it's basically around understanding what the user wants and um, gaining access into large pool of data, and of course, giving that feedback to the user. So that's the idea basically, and that's where ChatGPT is actually going to. So ChatGPT is designed to be very flexible, highly flexible and customizable, allowing users to fine-tune the model to suit their specific needs and use cases. And of course, we will probably look at some, history behind ChatGPT and how it has grown so far. So that a brief history and development of ChatGPT. ChatGPT uses two AI models, GPT 3.5 Turbo and GPT 4. Of course, we know now that as at this time, 4 is the most recent and most advanced language model created by OpenAI. Uh, and the first model was actually ChatGPT GPT-1, published in 2018. And this model was able to produce text that resembled that of a human. Since then, OpenAI has made several updates to the GPT series like GPT-2, GPT-3, with each model getting more advanced and more powerful. Yeah, and indeed, I think one of the beauty of AI is that it has no limit, right? It's based on what the human mind can comprehend. So we have seen four is far more powerful, and every model that has actually been launched by OpenAI has had great features. So it's at this point where hopefully are looking forward to GPT-5. What are the key features of ChatGPT? And understanding this will really just help us see how it can actually transform the way it can actually transform SAP S/4HANA. So by now, you're beginning to see um, you know, how ChatGPT most likely in the near future will replace most of the impact will be felt in support because now users once you go live, you basically have humans who are final consultants or super users or um, who would handhold the users to make sure whatever questions they have post go live is being answered. So you can see now that ChatGPT is one of those tools that can be used to manage post go live support and of course help with you know making sure that the users are able to navigate through the system, get real time questions or real time support 24 hours, right? So it's I believe it's gradually getting there. And of course, in the near future, will most likely, and of course, it's not just affecting support, even configurations for routine-based configurations, we're hoping that in the near future, AI, ChatGPT would basically handle most of those routine configs. So yeah, I mean, the future is exciting, and all we can do is actually get prepared for it. So let's look at some of the features. ChatGPT uses advanced natural language, you know, model or processing techniques to analyze and understand text inputs, including things like sentiment analysis, entity recognition, and intent detection. So that's one of the features of ChatGPT. Basically, it has that ability to interpret, analyze, and understand text input. So if you have used any of the GPT models before, it's basically, like we said, if you want to inquire, you input a text and the system is able to analyze that text and search. And it can also understand the sentiments behind your text and also detect the intent of that text based on the user preference and how the user wants feedback to look like. The second feature is contextual understanding. They were said here that ChatGPT is built to take into account all aspects of a conversation when generating responses, enabling it to produce coherent and contextual pertinent responses. And of course, this will also depend on what the user wants and how the user uh, actually asks his or her questions. So, of course, when you launch ChatGPT, there are techniques or there are ways to get the system to give you, exactly what you want. And basically asking the right questions in the right form is one way that you're able to have meaningful conversations with ChatGPT and, get the great responses you are expecting. And we're also going to be seeing that in SAP S/4HANA, where you can, use the SAP S/4HANA AI tool, which we're going to also see in the in coming slides, how SAP has actually developed its own AI platform and how this platform is actually transforming the way we work and the way we support customers and clients in SAP S/4HANA. Another feature is that it's very customizable and adaptable to users. And this model can be stretched and can be fine-tuned and can be improved based on each of the user cases or, what preferences of the users. This entails, offering personalized training materials, questions, and discussion starters. So, of course, ChatGPT it has a high degree of adaptability, can always be fine-tuned or customized. Another feature of ChatGPT is API integration. ChatGPT can be integrated with a wide range of APIs and platforms, including chatbots, frameworks, virtual assistants, messaging platform like Slack, WhatsApp. So it's a very, very robust platform. And of course, we also have APIs in SAP that facilitate integrations between different third-party systems. So yeah, it's going to be a beautiful relationship between SAP S/4HANA and ChatGPT, and I would actually see how that can happen. Yeah, just rounding up, this session for today, we're going to see a typical scenario of, ChatGPT integration with SAP S/4HANA, right? So you can see that, let's say, for example, um, we have asked ChatGPT to convert an email into a meaningful JSON file. JSON file are files we can use to, export data from, different platforms. So you can see that the customer sends a message to your normal Outlook. It goes through a logic. There are certain triggers. Of course, this is Azure. Azure is a Microsoft and platform. And it goes through a series of actions, and ChatGPT picks that up in action two. It moves to SAP technology platform. Of course, we have an API there that communicates with um, ChatGPT. And at action two, because we have sent an email, extract the action two will be to extract sales order from the JSON and query the SAP system via the APIs. So hopefully part of the questions we're asking is to able to convert that email that has come into our mailbox and to a JSON file that can be read or converted to a sales order, right? So once it goes to ChatGPT and of course the interaction with SAP technology platforms API happens, the conversion of that to be able to read by SAP happens at the technical business technology platform. And of course, once the exchange of file happens and the conversion of JSON happens, task three will be to ask ChatGPT to turn JSON file from SAP into a meaningful email and finally send a reply to the customer. So basically, it gets into SAP S/4HANA system. The initial instruction is read, and automatically we send an email to the customer based on his request for a sales order that happened in action one. So it just gives us that how information can flow. This is just a very brief example of how a customer can, send an email and it goes through, some kind of workflow. It touches ChatGPT. That information actually goes into, like we said, ChatGPT has a lot of integration with a lot of APIs. Once it gets into the business transformation platform SAP, the APIs are read and information is sent to SAP S/4HANA on-premise or cloud solution, and automatically we can see that the APIs that are being communicated with is for sales order API, delivery API, and once these APIs are read and the forms or the documents are created, automatically an email is sent to the customer to say, okay, we have received your sales order, stuff like that. So this is just a clue of how ChatGPT can work and transform the way we use SAP S/4HANA, and it can go. I mean, there's no limit to what this relationship can do. But just this few minutes, this is supposed to be just an insight, lecture or call that um, there is no doubt that ChatGPT and SAP S/4HANA have a great future together. And hopefully, because I hope that in the next 10 years, when you listen to this video, you would actually have appreciated where we were today while I'm doing this video. And, 10 years from now, hopefully that will be in 2034. We would have seen a lot of advancements, and we would have actually seen a lot more transformation between SAP S/4HANA and ChatGPT, of course, using the very powerful business SAP Business Technology Platform, and interactions between both API. ChatGPT actually um, interfacing with those APIs and helping us do our job faster and better. We have come to the end of this session. Thank you for listening. And why not? We have trainings that we offer to the public and to everybody who is interested. And we have SAP S/4HANA controlling training if you're interested, if you want to come into the space as an SAP management accounting consultant. Talk about modules like cost center accounting, professional accounting, product costing, internal orders, profitability analysis, and the rest. We also have an internship program we run for 4 or 5 months to take basically the consultants through an end-to-end project experience in SAP S/4HANA for finance. That's also one of the trainings we do. We also have the SAP technical training for functional consultants. Functional consultants right now need to also have some technical skills to be able to, deliver more efficiently, and also to support the team and support the users. So we have that course to actually help the functional consultant to understand some basics like troubleshooting, data migration, functional specs, IDOCs, understanding transport requests, and some more information. We also have the SAP business analysis training to understand basically projects, how we drive projects using our Activate methodology. And of course, we have the SAP S/4HANA finance training. So why not? You can send the message to our WhatsApp, or you can send me an email, and we'll really love to hear from you. So thank you very much for this session. Please, if you get this video, share, subscribe, and if you don't have, you can actually search for my name, and you probably find that on YouTube. And do well to subscribe and share this video so others can actually learn just the basics of how SAP S for HANA and ChatGPT can actually how ChatGPT can actually transform the way we work in SAP, and of course the use of chatbots, text to speech, text speech to images. These are things that will surely, surely, surely change the way we work very soon in the near future. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening. Do have a great day, and see you. Stay tuned because definitely we'll be coming up with another training, resources to actually, inform others. So do have a nice day and stay safe.